Jawa Tengah. Untuk fokus perhatian dari ILO adalah masalah ketenagakerjaan yang menjadi fokus ketenagakerjaan dari karya dan sebagainya. Tapi yang lebih spesifik adalah pekerja migran kita yang di sektor perkapalan. Karena permasalahan ini banyak terjadi bahwa di pekerja di kapal-kapal ini terjadi eksploitasi. Boleh dibilang orang kadang bilang perbudakan dan sebagainya. Inilah PR kita. Dan kami terima kasih dari perhatian dari ILO dan Uni Eropa untuk permasalahan ini. Karena permasalahan pekerja migran di sektor perkapalan ini tidak semuanya berasal di Jawa Tengah sebetulnya. Banyak yang berasal dari Indonesia-Timur. Kebetulan biro jasanya itu ada di Jawa Tengah. Ada problem masalah regulasi masalah biro jasa ini. Tapi kami lagi berkoordinasi dengan pemerintah pusat. Hubungannya masalah ini dari sisi Kementerian Kelautan dan Kementerian Ketenagakerjaan supaya sinkron untuk kita bisa menegakkan dari sisi biro jasanya. Dan kami terima kasih karena kalau pekerja migran ini kan tentu saja tidak hanya berada di Indonesia, justru problemnya kalau sudah keluar dari Indonesia. Nah, inilah sebabnya kami terima kasih dari ILO yang sudah membantu kami. Mudah-mudahan kedepannya itu tentu saja yang ilegal itu tidak terjadi.
The fishery sector employs not just Indonesia but around the world so many women, but even more men, especially out at sea. But you have a lot of jobs that are also created on land based, whether it's aquaculture, whether it's seafood processing, and a lot of it also gets exported. I don't want to say that one country is bad or Indonesia is not doing well or another country is not doing well. Every country has issues when it comes to the fisheries sector. The nature of the job itself is very demanding and also very different than usual. It's not like you're going to an office. Going to sea is very different, or even working in seafood processing. So I think the issue here, and from ILO's perspective, where we see so much promise in Indonesia, is first, which is very important, is the commitment. Not just at Jakarta level, but here, in the heart of where the fishers are working, where the jobs are for the women and men communities, right, that are dependent on fishing. Commitment is very important, and we think it's really important that the right actors within the government and other people that also know something about those communities, about the vulnerable people, come together and jointly work to address it, because no single party can do it. And I see that happening already here in Central Java, which is very, very promising. I think there still is, however, more room for work. Migration and migrant fisheries is not going to end. The industry as a whole has serious globally labor shortages, and it can be made into what we call decent work for migrant fishers. And that is our hope, and that is our dream and our intention, to continue to work with people and Central Province where you are trying to make a difference, to be able to create those decent work opportunities for migrant fishers, for good jobs so that they can live a life of dignity and their families can live a life of dignity. And the country's economy and trade is not stamped with bad reputation, which it doesn't have, but like good reputation. So that's our intention, and that's how we expect to work.
Trade for EU-Indonesia is essential. As I just said during the meeting, we have a bilateral trade that is almost 30 billion euro, with a significant trade surplus for Indonesia. So it's not the biggest part of the trade, but the fishery trade is very significant because for fishermen it is essential, and that's about $300 million a year. In Europe, and as many Indonesians know, the European customer is more and more interested not only to eat or consume the product, but to know where it comes from, how it is made, how it is produced. So they are looking very much not only into sustainability of product, so sustainable fisheries, but also into social standards, labor protection. Indonesia is quite well placed to increase its trade with the European Union because I think that anyone who comes to Indonesia see how much consensus and how much solidarity there is, and that translates into a lot of social programs. And I come back to what was said here. There's a commitment to improve the situation. So the EU is very happy to first show respect for that commitment, and then support it through funding of the ILO, which in turn has the expertise to support the efforts of the local government and the central government. So what we are doing is just accompanying the social support that is Indonesian, all the social program, to make sure that this benefits the workers, which in turn can increase the trade because the social standards are good.